for the Malaysian captain. And then Bim Sharkey and Kushal Malla. Look at some of the strike rates as well. Saeed Manib, Parvinder Kumar and Kushal Malla, all at this ground, have all smashed it everywhere. 31 sixes we saw yesterday, 51 fours. But we didn't see 600 runs. We saw 599, Paresh. Or was it 600? No, I don't think so. I think it was 599. Let's have a check of that. Isan Khan is topping the wicket-taking charts from Hong Kong, the wily old off-spinner. And Bilal Khan, he'll be one of the stars of the show. Left-arm seamer. No surprise to see Lamachani in there. Junaid Sadiq, too. Very impressive fast bowler. Thought he bowled very well yesterday. And we're going to use the same wicket as we saw in that 599-run contest between Kuwait and the UAE yesterday. We're also going to have a look at the most fours. Here we are. Ritti Aravind with 17, Babar Hayat and Mustafa. But Mustafa batted really well yesterday and got UAE out of trouble. But there was only one star of the show for me. He's 20 years of age. He's got the world at his feet, doesn't he? Ritti Aravind.
Yes, a very classical batsman. Ritti Aravind is on the top of the list in the top run getters still now in the tournament, and the leading four hitter, and even the sixes. Ritti Aravind is the leading 9 sixes for him in this tournament so far. Big names there: Parvinder Kumar, Babar Hayat with 6, Saad Munib with 6 sixes, Kushal Malla 5 sixes, Ron Mustafa 4 sixes, Asif Khan 3 sixes, big sixes yesterday. Kushal Briltel with 2. Singapore players are getting ready to enter the field.
Yeah, they're nearly all set, nearly all ready to go. And here come the umpires. We've got Rahat Ali Chowdhury from Saudi Arabia standing alongside Vinod Babu from Oman. Third umpire today, he'll be in charge of the TV duties. That's Vinay Kumar Jha from Nepal. And the fourth umpire assisting the team, Riaz Karupkar from Qatar, all overseen by Iftikhar Ali, the ACC match referee who we saw there. And there's the head coach just giving the final instructions. Aritra Dutta, the captain, he batted well in the first game, made 49. He'll probably open up the batting when Singapore do bat with Surendran Chandramohan. The big loss, though, and this is a massive blow for a couple of reasons. For Singapore, there's no Janak Prakash, and there is no Aryaman Uchal either. And those two, not only are they good bowlers, they're very good batters as well, out-and-out all-rounders, and maybe the 2 quickest bowlers in the team.
Yes, a very big blow for Singapore. The 2 big players are not here in the playing 11. The umpires are ready, and Bahrain batters very keen to get things going. They're already in the pitch, waiting for the Singapore bowlers to come into play. It'll be a very good contest. They are playing their first match in this tournament. 8 teams have already played their first match. The 2 opening batters for Bahrain. Shahbaz Barar, the left-hander. And Mohammad Yunus, his non-striker partner. Surendran, the opening bowler for Singapore.
Yeah, certainly for Singapore, I think it feels very much like a must-win game. We went down to what was a pretty heavy defeat, really, to Hong Kong in their opening match. That was across at the Mulpani Cricket Stadium, the new venue here in Kathmandu. It wasn't just the fact they were beaten, it was the fact they were beaten with more than 100 balls to spare. And that has given them a huge net run rate deficit to have to work back. Gorgeous scenes given to us by our drone camera. All set for game number 5. Singapore are going to take on Bahrain. And I've got a sneaking suspicion Bahrain, even though they play very little 50-over cricket prior to that Challenge Cup that they got through qualifying alongside Saudi Arabia, although they were heavily defeated in the final of that competition. They hadn't played a game of 50-over cricket since before the pandemic. Best of luck to them. And they are going to play some shots. I think we're going to see a little bit like Kuwait yesterday. A shot a ball, particularly in the first 10, and it's a flying start. It's a boundary pulled away just wide of the fielder. Not the length to bowl on this wicket, and Yunus gets his account underway with 4.
Yes, not express pace. Kalimutu balls, drags that down. A very short ball. Nicely done by the batter there, Yunus. Bahrain off the mark with a 4. A good start for Bahrain. And the fields looks to be very regulation field for the 50-over power play. A slip and a gully, backward point, cover, mid off. Oh, nicely bowled. Look at his follow through. He's just going square of the wicket rather than going through the pitch. Very interesting follow through.
Yeah, a little bit of a shade of Devon Malcolm in there, isn't there? The former fantastic English fast bowler who famously blitzed South Africa away, didn't he? What was the line he said to them? You guys are history, I think, before he walked out. Definitely a bit of Devon Malcolm there, isn't there? The little sort of jut away at the last second to deliver quite wide of the crease. Do not rule out upsets in this tournament, and even though Singapore are much higher up the rankings in terms of 50-over cricket, and it's something they play a lot more of because they're up in the Cricket World Cup Challenge League, Bahrain will quietly fancy their chances today. Remember, this is a team that beat the UAE in the T20 World Cup qualifier in Oman in last February in Muscat. David Mathias made 46. He's in the starting 11 today. No Umar Tour, though. He's missed out from this squad. And Haider Butt, the captain, Haider Ali Butt, that is. He made 35 off 17. So the strike rates aren't going to be an issue for Bahrain. They only play T20 cricket domestically. They don't have any 40-over cricket, any 50-over cricket. So amazing for these men to come from their adopted home in Bahrain over to these brilliant facilities in Nepal and try to compete with some of the best associates in Asia.
Yes, like we saw yesterday, Kuwait struggling in the field while bowling. They were just a bit lazy after the 25th over. We could see the shoulder dropping down, a bit tired, most of the fielders of Kuwait. We could see only the captain a bit energetic throughout the 50 overs. Nicely bowled, straight to mid-wicket. Hint of a misfield, but no harm done. The first over has been completed. Bahrain 5 for no loss.
Congestion ahead. You are on the fastest route. Rerouting.
The all-new Pulsar N160 with dual-channel ABS.
You've reached your destination.
Oh, Lifebuoy hand wash ले मार्छ 99.9% viruses. त्यसैले balm, rub, संसारकै #1 selling germ protection soap brand.
Shot beautiful TU International Cricket Ground here in Kirtipur, the southern part of Kathmandu city. Starts off with a nice, gentle, medium pace. Tilipan. They don't have a express pace bowlers, but gentle, medium pace, but they're bowling in the right areas. Lenny, you have seen these two teams very closely recently in the Asia Cup the Asia Cup qualifiers. That was a T20 format. Like you said, Bahrain hasn't played 50 over cricket since before the pandemic. I couldn't see any youngsters here. Do you know any youngsters in the team playing 11 for Bahrain and Singapore?
Yeah, look, Akshay Puri is a young off spinner of the highest quality. Really think he is outstanding.
That's Rubina Chetri, the women's captain of Nepal.
I think she was doing a little bit of work with our partners at Cantaport TV this morning. Great to see her. And I know it's a big year for the women's side here. Lots of women's teams in Asia. A bit of movement from Philippan, just half a stop. But it paddles it round the corner, meaning they'll get the single. Yeah, Akshay Puri youngsters come through the Singaporean system, just like Aryaman Uchul and Janak Prakash, but those two both missing out with university commitments, and that is just the reality, isn't it, always, for associate cricket. Everyone here is playing in their spare time as such. They have lives, they've got families. And none of the players here are getting paid really any money, let alone the kind of money like the IPL stars or players from the Test Nations are getting. That one's going to angle down. And Singapore will rely heavily upon their spin attack. Vinoth Bhaskaran is a very clever left-arm orthodox bowler. Akshay Puri, I think, will be one of the best spinners in the tournament. Gets really good revs on the ball. And we've got good batting as well. Captain will lead the way at the top. Dutta. Chandra Mohan is a good hitter down the order. Manpreet Singh back into the team today. 3 changes. And one of those 3 changes only came in last night. I think that was Ramesh Kalamathu, who missed the first game. So certainly Singapore should be favourites, but I just have a sneaking suspicion that Bahrain will be one of the livelier underdogs in this tournament. And they'll quite enjoy that moniker, they'll quite enjoy that role of trying to upset some of the bigger teams.
Yes, Singapore, talking about Singapore, they have a very good domestic structure in the age group as well. 2 gone, Bahrain 7 for no loss. Kalimutu to continue from the pavilion, and a decent start for Bahrain, 7 for no loss in 2 overs. You're talking about Singapore's domestic structure. It's pretty good, to be honest. Dancing down the track, hit it over mid-off, 1 bounce over the fence. A good shot by Shahbaz, his first boundary.
Well, a real flourish from Shahbaz batter. Dances down the track very stylishly. Doesn't quite get to the pitch of it, but because of the lack of pace from Kalimutu, he's able to get enough of it to get it all the way for 4. Just a bounce or 2. Gets over the rope. Just the 1 bounce, in fact. Eightfield is rapid. Batter's paradise again out there. And that's good, clever batting. Follows up the boundary with the single. Beats Rohan Rangarajan, who is there at backward point. Yeah, for Bahrain, the trick will be a little bit like Kuwait yesterday, won't it be? It's not going to be a problem of being unable to hit boundaries or unable to clear the ropes. I've asked dozens of times for a pair of sockets. I still don't have it. The trick for them He's going to be batting the overs, but with strokes like that, it'll fill them full of confidence. That's a gorgeous shot. Perfect straight drive right down the ground as Mohammed Yunus shows us just how good he is.
Yes, a perfect straight drive. Whenever we see a perfect straight drive, always reminds us of Sachin Tendulkar. What a perfect straight driver he was in his time.
Going to be 4 more. Real flourish to the Bahraini start here. Back-to-back boundaries to close out the third over. It's a flying start. It's 24 for none.
Yes, look at this cover drive. Beautifully done. The body was very balanced by Yunus. 3 consecutive boundaries for him. Moves to 18 of 13. A very good start for Bahrain. 3 overs, 24 for no loss.
Congestion ahead. You are on the fastest route. Rerouting.
The all-new Pulsar N160 with dual-channel ABS.
You've reached your destination.
Okay, boys, in this pitch what we need is speed. We need to be fast.
Right, coach.
Who's the fastest?
Whirling.
Okay, whirling.
सबैलाई थाहा छ इन्टरनेटको स्पिड र सर्भिस दुवैमा फास्टेस्ट वर्ल्ड नै हो.
This is the fastest.
Beautiful cricket ground here in Kirtipur, Kathmandu. I must say the curator here, Madhu, has done a very good job preparing this wicket. This is the second back-to-back games in this wicket, and it shows it's a belter of a wicket for the batsman.
Yeah, I think this opening attack for Singapore just doesn't have enough pace to challenge these two. The reality is that if you miss your lengths, if you're too short or you're too full, it's such a good batting surface and the outfield's so quick. In this first power play, you're going to get boundaries and plenty of them. The fielding's been a bit sloppy to start with as well. The runs are leaking. And this is why Bahrain have won the toss and chosen to bat first. I was surprised that Dutta said he wanted to bowl. I don't think you can look at these wickets here right now, particularly first or second use of them, and think you want to do anything but bat. And in fact, even as the competition progresses and maybe the spinners will start to come into it a little bit more then, still think you want to bat first. Get a total on the board. I know that batting surfaces stay true and they'll be good in the afternoon as well, but like we saw yesterday, if you get in excess of 300, just the weight of that scoreboard pressure comes so significantly into play that it puts the game out of sight. UAE finished that game in that 12-over burst towards the end of the first innings. And the approach is going to be clear from Bahrain. It's an attacking one.
Yes, that is what they've been doing, so playing T20 cricket for the last 4 or 5 years. Like you said, Lenny, they don't have a 40-over or a 50-over structure back home. And it's a good start for Bahrain here. They're talking about this wicket. Yesterday, we saw plenty of runs scored. Over 36s and over 54s in one match. That's incredible. Oh, that was nice. The ball shaping away from the right-hander.
Yeah, that's the length. That's the length to bowl. The problem is, at the pace these two are operating at, if you miss that length by a fraction, you're going to be punished. So if you're a yard short of that or a yard full of that, you get yourself into trouble. Whereas if you have the extra bit of pace, it gives the batter less time to adjust. It's a very short run up. The keeper could maybe do it coming up a yard, I think. So that length's okay. It's a good line in length. Not too full, not too short. But we've already seen both Yunus and Shabazz happy to come down the track, and both also equally adept at playing off the back foot. So Bahrain be really pleased with this start, having won the toss.
Yeah, in the initial stages of the innings, like I always say, length is mandatory and the line is optional. Back of the length, 6 meter length is the way to go if you don't have that express pace. If you don't have that 1 or 2 extra yard of pace. Oh, that's very well bowled again in the right channel. 4 overs done. Bahrain 26 for no loss.
दादा बाहिर भाइरस छ
नडराउ मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई
पम्प रब छु
हो लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस त्यसैले पम्प रब छु संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड
Immediately there's a bowling change from the pavilion and Vinod Bhaskaran is the new bowler. After Ramesh Kalimuthu going for plenty in his first 2 overs, his first spell. Yet again a left arm orthodox into the attack. We've seen every team having a left arm orthodox, 1 or 2.
No surprise to see spin come on. The problem has been, in the first 4 overs, there's been no control of any kind. That's good proactive captaincy from Dutty, saying, I need to change something, I need to change it quickly, get one of my most experienced campaigners on. Pretty accurate left arm spinner. Vinod Bhaskaran is a good record. Singapore will look to make a breakthrough here in this first power play.
Yes, he looks a very good bowler, Vinod. Short and wide cutaway into the gap, running towards the boundary. Ends up a boundary. Yunus moves to 23 of 17. A good start here for Bahrain in the 5th over. There was a short and wide off the off stump. Nicely cut away. Played it late. Played it right under his eye. Got the gap between short third and the backward point. Oh, very good ball.
Yeah, 2 games in progress today. We see this here, Singapore against Bahrain. Bahrain entering into the tournament today, and also Saudi Arabia. They get going at the Mulpani Cricket Stadium. You can also watch that live around the world if you're here in Nepal on OSR Sports, on their YouTube channel or on Kantapur HD TV. Around the world, also on the Asian Cricket Council YouTube channel, and then down in India on Fanco. There's broadcasts going everywhere on this brilliant tournament, and all games, all 24 matches across the 15 match days. We're going to be bringing you live here. Me, Andrew Leonard, got Paresh Lahani alongside me. And we'll hear from Sharad Visakar in the coming minutes and hours too. End of the 5th over. Good start from Bhaskaran. The score now, it's 30 for none.
Congestion ahead. You are on the fastest route. Rerouting. Rerouting. Rerouting.
The all-new Pulsar N160 with dual channel ABS.
You've reached your destination.
So Thilipan will continue into his 3rd over. For Bahrain, pretty much a dream start halfway through the first power play, 30 for none. picked up plenty of boundaries. Remember how deep they bat with so many power hitters to come. What would you expect they'll be looking for from this 50 over innings? Are they already thinking of a target? Are they trying to take it in 5 and 10 over phases? Are they trying to get through sessions? Or how did you approach it, Paresh, as an opening batter, particularly in the 50 over game?
Yeah, I'll take it session by session. To be honest, 5 over session. First 10 overs power play, I'll take 2 5 over sessions, and then in the second power play, starting from the 11th to the, let's say, 25th over, I'll just nudge the ball around, take singles. If the ball there's to hit, if it's on the slot, I'll go for it, but without taking any risk. Just built up a partnership.
Thought about leaving it, and just at the last moment picked up a bit of the bat. He gets a single. And from the bowlers that you'd have watched so far, would you have felt any threat, or would you have felt pretty comfortable?
Yeah, I would have felt very comfortable because there's no express pace. Even there was an express pace, I would be comfortable with it because the track is very true to bat on. You can just take a step or two in front and just go over the infield. That is as slow as you can get a bowler to bowl to you.
This far in, we've said it 5 times yesterday. It's too zoomed in, so we can't see the bowler bowling. Almost worse yesterday, points. I'm not sure there's going to be remedies. Yeah, that solitary catcher has just come a little bit wider, isn't he? Sort of not a gully, not a second slip, maybe a third slip, just floating. He's neither one nor the other. He's hoping rather than knowing that an edge might go there.
Yes, there's no express pace to, even if he gets the edge, I don't think it'll carry to the slips, the floating slip, and he's keep that out. This is a good move, keeping on in short extra cover for the mediocre pace bowler. A good field position for the bowler here. There's a bit of a misunderstanding between the batters. 6 overs gone. Bahrain 31 for no loss.
Dada, बाहिर भाइरस छ
नडराऊ मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई
पम्प रब छु
हो लाइफबॉय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस त्यसैले पम्प रब छु संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड
Gorgeous ground, this. Our drone footage is always sponsored by Dafa News. It will give you a look at the training facilities there on the right. That's where the Nepali team are going through their paces ahead of tomorrow's game. They'll be back here at the TU ground on Friday before moving to Mulpani on Monday. As Bhaskaran's going to continue. It'll be a great occasion, won't it, on Monday? Nepal playing a full official international at the Mulpani for the first time.
Yes, it'll be a big day for Nepal and for the ground itself. It's already seen 2 international games in Mulpani. Today is the 3rd one. Nicely bowled, but just angling into the pads. Talking about Singapore bowlers, I think Vinod is a very good one, a good left-arm orthodox. We haven't seen any turn. Yesterday when Kuwait was bowling, we saw so much of turn with the new ball.
I think the difference there is the trajectory, isn't it? Much flatter through the air from Bhaskaran. He's darting it in, so just skidding on. The youngster yesterday for Kuwait bowled a beautiful slow pace to extract lots of turn. Cleans him up, straight through, flatter through the air, no turn and offer. And the lack of boundaries for just 10, 12 deliveries has meant that in Bahrain's head, they're still in T20 mode. They think they've got to go. They don't have to go, but the batsman does. He's gone for 23, and Bhaskaran, he strikes.
Yes, a totally unnecessary shot played by the batter there. They were going very good, 5 runs per over, without losing a wicket. Like you said, Lenny, they are still in a T20 mode. 2 or 3 dot balls. He thought that he need to go, but he didn't. He has to go back to the hut. Gone for 23 of 24. Bahrain 32 for 1.
Okay, boys, in this pitch, what we need is speed. We need to be fast.
Right, coach.
Who's the fastest?
Whirling.
Okay, whirling. Whirling.
सबैलाई थाहा छ इन्टरनेटको स्पिड र सर्भिस दुवैमा फास्टेस्ट वर्ल्ड नै हो.
This is the fastest.
David Matthews is the new batsman in at number 3. Looks a very formidable batter. A very poor selection of shot there. They were going very good, more than 5 runs per over.
2 and 2. This one's kept a little bit low, and David Matthias is cleaned up. Bhaskaran, he's pumped up. My oh my, brilliance from the left arm spinner, and what a change from the skipper. He identified it early, we've already said it. After 4 overs, he got him into the game, and it's worked. Bahrain have lost 2 and 2. This one, I think it's kept a little bit low.
Yes, it did keep a bit low, but I think that was an arm, the ball going with the arm. Yes, after pitching, the ball went in, kept a bit low. I don't think he should have played on the back foot. Anyway, he's gone for a duck on the first ball. Bahrain in trouble, 32 for 2.
Okay, boys, in this pitch, what we need is speed. We need to be fast.
Right, coach.
Who's the fastest?
Whirling.
Okay, whirling. Whirling.
सबैलाई थाहा छ इन्टरनेटको स्पिड र सर्भिस दुवैमा फास्टेस्ट वर्ल्ड नै हो.
This is the fastest.
Yeah, here's another look from behind the batter. Paresh Lahani feels that Matthias should have got forward, and that's why you were a great opening batter, Paresh.
Yes, the history tells that. Anyway, Sohail Ahmed is the new batsman in at number 4. In trouble, Bahrain.
Do you remember commentating with you once and asking you if you ever made a duck? And I think you said no. And then by the time we looked it up, there was 5 or 6 in there. So we won't go into the record books too much. But what could go into the record books is a hat-trick ball from Vinath Bhaskaran. And Singapore on the attack. 2 extra close catchers brought in, maybe just for this delivery, to Silly Madan in place, and also a short extra cover. Singapore sense a chance to make it 3 and 3. Here comes Bhaskaran on the hat-trick. And that's much better, more watchful from Ahmed. Gets forward.
Yeah, that is what you should do when you first come in and play a spinner. A fuller delivery. Going to the back foot, it's not good when the ball is skidding towards you. Nicely bowled again. Very good over. 2 wickets in it. After 7, Bahrain 32 for 2.
Congestion ahead. You are on the fastest route. Rerouting. Rerouting.
The all-new Pulsar N160 with dual channel ABS.
You've reached your destination.
Okay, boys, in this pitch, what we need is speed. We need to be fast.
Right, coach.
Who is the fastest?
Whirling.
Okay, whirling. Whirling.
सबैलाई थाहा छ इन्टरनेटको स्पिड र सर्भिस दुवैमा फास्टेस्ट वर्ल्ड नै हो
This is the fastest.
All sorts happening up here. As we've had a change with Paresh Lahani leaving me for the moment, and delighted to welcome back Sharad Visakar, the Nepal national team player. Sharad, we missed you yesterday. Hopefully you can hear us as all sorts happens in the background. Our backdrop fell over and we'll keep going as we can. How was yesterday up at the Mulpani Cricket Stadium? Looked like a really close contest between Oman and Qatar.
Yeah, had a very good game yesterday in Mulpani. It was a close one. Good morning to all the viewers.
Oman were pushed, and they were pushed and tested hard by Qatar.
Yeah, I guess Qatar choosing to bowl first in that Mulpani wicket was the right decision. Had that early jitters, Oman, losing their openers and main batters. But they managed to post up a good total, which was around 250. Qatar were looking strong in the middle order, but suddenly, when the experienced Zishan Maqsood came up and took a few wickets, took some brilliant catches, and pegged back the Qatari side.
Yeah, I think most importantly, brilliant to see Aqib Ilyas back. For those who don't know, he's been through some real difficulties. Not just an injury perspective, actually a health perspective. So to see probably Oman's best cricketer back, well, Zishan Maqsood will push him hard for that role as well, or that title. To see him back and fully fit and playing, that's fantastic to see. One of the real stars of the associate game, and even though I think he missed 10 or 12 matches in Men's Cricket World Cup League 2, he was still one of the leading run scorers. It shows how quality a player he is. We've just got a bit of a hold up, as Sahel doesn't look too happy with somebody at deep backward square leg. I'm not sure how he's noticed what's going on over there, but he's asking somebody to sit down. I never looked there as a batter, Sharad, myself. You're a much better batter than I ever was. Surely you can't see that. Your peripheral vision, is it that good?
Yeah. Stilipan comes in with his gentle medium pacers. Yeah, unless you have two eyes behind as well.
And what about the rest of that contest then? Sort of the world-class pace of Bilal Khan, did that prove the difference?
Oh yes, most definitely. Picked up those early wickets and also bowled well in the death overs. He does what he does best, Bilal Khan.
Yeah, we were keeping a close eye on it here. We had the stream up at various points as well. What were your first impressions of the Mulpani venue as an international venue?
It was so pleasing to see the way the ground has come up. To be honest, I hadn't expected that much of renovation work and that much of improvement in the ground conditions as well. Full credit to Khan for well defended there by Sohail. With the 8th over done, Bahrain are 33 for 2.
बाहिर भाइरस छ
नडराऊ मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई
पम्प रब छु
हो लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस त्यसैले पम्प रब छु संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड
And local critic fanatics all coming together to get that venue ready. With two venues in the same city, and what a city it is, one of my favorite cities in the world. Great hotels, great food, great culture, great music, great people. Is Kathmandu now a realistic option, not just to host one-off, small triangular series just at this venue, but is it a real option to bring in big international tournaments like this ACC Men's Premier Cup going forward?
Yep. Most definitely. As you know, we have heard that the PM, the Prime Minister, has already instructed the government to install the floodlights. Once that will come up, we most probably will see some international games happening in near future.
I tell you, when I heard that, I almost got goosebumps, chills, excitement. I could just visualize floodlights in here, a T20 international starting at 7 p.m, Nepal taking on a test nation. Let's get Ireland over for the first game under floodlights. Let me speak to Andrew Balbirnie and Paul Sterling and say, guys, come to Kathmandu. You will not be able to get a ticket for that game, I'll tell you that. It'll be packed out. Because so often the games here, even when we have T20 franchise leagues here, because you need 2 games in the day, the first game starts at 9 a.m. And that's not a time, everyone's got to work or go to college or school. If we can get floodlights in here, just imagine the beautiful scene it would paint as well. And that is very exciting. So let's hope that comes to fruition and dream of glorious days ahead.
Absolutely. Everyone in Nepal who follows cricket is waiting for that day. As Vinod comes in for his last ball. Bahrain are 33 for 2.
Congestion ahead. You are on the fastest route. Rerouting. Rerouting. Rerouting.
The all-new Pulsar N160 with dual channel ABS.
You've reached your destination.
Not a lot of pace in this Singaporean attack. We think about who they're missing, though, and no Janak Prakash, no Arya Manochil. They're 2 excellent young fast bowlers, both with university commitments for this tournament. And Prakash is capable of getting up to about 140 kilometres an hour. Ochil definitely over 130. So it's a different approach for Singapore. They're having to find a way to get their 50 overs bowled. If you don't have pace, Sharad, what's the key if you were captaining this Singaporean side? How are you containing, how are you setting the fields, how are you instructing your medium pacers to bowl?
Well, it's actually an advantage, I feel, in this flat deck. When you have less space, you have very less speed to work with as a batter. You need to make that pace of the bat. Probably it's working in the favor of Singapore at the moment. 2 wickets down.
And to build on your point, 10 consecutive dot balls for Sohail Ahmed. You can understand he wants to consolidate and rebuild given that 2-wicket burst, the 2 and 2. And this is the problem for the sides like Kuwait and Bahrain, Saudi Arabia and Qatar, who play very little 50-over cricket. Bahrain, just that one tournament, and then nothing since the pandemic. No domestic 40 or 50 over cricket. So as a coach, It's really difficult, isn't it, to find that balance between their natural game, which is an attacking game. They hit boundaries very easily. It comes naturally to them. But how do you temper that with saying go out and bat time, but not getting yourself in a position where you're none off 11?
I think the best way to go is like just taking in short bursts. I mean, like you plan for 5 overs each as a batter, not planning too long, and take it from there.
I suppose the thing you can't get into, Sharad, is allowing the pressure to build to a point where you're putting it onto your partner at the far end as well. He's now none off 12. And dot balls, whatever version of the game we're playing, they build pressure. And what they tend to bring about is a chance. They bring about a big shot. So it's a battle of the mind out there. And Sohail Ahmed off to a very cautious start. It's a maiden. It's a really good one too. Philippan was an excellent 5 overs. That's the end of the first power play, and Bahrain, they're in a bit of bother. 33 for 2.
Beam, we only have 1 day left. Focus, man.
No, coach. We have 1 month. You have 1 month. I have 1 month. I have sent my referral. No, please take it once.
Whirling River Guns. दुवैजनालाई 1 महिना free internet र net TV subscription पाउनुहोस्. Whirling River offer.
Alright, guys, don't worry. We have 1 month. Let's do this.
Oh, Lifebuoy hand wash ले मार्छ 99.9% viruses. त्यसैले palm, rub, chew. संसारकै number 1 selling germ protection soap brand.
End of the first power play, signalled by Rahat Ali Chowdhury, one of our 2 standing umpires. He's from Saudi Arabia, and his country are making their tournament bow as well in a bit of early bother up at the Mulpani Cricket Ground, as Malaysia picked up 3 early wickets. Bahrain, after a flying start, 30 for none after 5, are just digging themselves a hole here. And that's why big shots are going to have to come out. It's a good one, very well executed. The man protecting the shorter boundary is probably a yard or 2 in front to square, and this is swept behind square, runs away for 4.
Yeah, Shahbaz executing that shot to perfection, using the angle of the bowler coming in, guiding it towards the square leg region.
Yeah, man in the circle at 45. He just come a little square. Baskran's not a huge turn of the ball. He's pretty flat through the air. He's not particularly tall either. So the sweep's not a bad option, but you've got to make sure you get that front pad outside the line of off stump. Because if you don't and you miss the ball, you could well get pinned LBW. And finally some runs coming now, a single down the ground. Can Sohail finally get off the mark?
Yeah, it's about time. He needs to keep rotating the strike and build up on small partnership maybe with Shahbaz. Looking for options. The 30-yard fielder is quite tight in the circle.
Slower through the air that time. Tempting, teasing. Baskram will know that Sohail's not off the mark yet, and if the captain at first slip there, if Dutta is in any way wise, he'll just get all of those ring fielders to keep squeezing, keep trying to prevent him from getting off the mark. Tough period here for Ahmed. He does get away finally. His first run from his 15th delivery, end of the 11th. 39 for 2 now.
Congestion ahead. You are on the fastest route. Rerouting. Rerouting. Rerouting.
The all-new Pulsar N160 with dual channel ABS.
You've reached your destination.
Yeah, Vino. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, just go a little back.
So maybe honours even as we see the introduction of a young bowler that I think could be one of the stars of the tournament, Akshay Puri. Very, very clever bowler, this youngster. The bespectacled Akshay Puri. Don't think they're sunglasses, they're transition lenses on there. He's one of me. You gotta love bespectacled spinners, plenty of them down the years. Daniel Vettori probably most famously. Jack Leach now, flying the flag for England. One of the things I love about this sport, and one of the things I loved growing up, I played all sports growing up, rugby and soccer, a little bit of Gaelic sports in Dublin as well, but cricket was the only sport I loved, I adored. And the fact that I could, being short-sighted, play it with my spectacles on, I thought that was very special. Non-contact sport, very unique. And it doesn't matter whether you're a young boy, a young girl, whatever your ability, get involved in cricket. It's the greatest gift you'll get. How did you get involved in cricket, Sherrod? Where did your backstory come from?
Started when I saw Sachin Tendulkar batting in the 1996 World Cup, actually. I became a great fan of him. Those days, we only had one sports channel, and watching the way he batted, I straight away wanted to join a cricket academy. And luckily, one of them was opened very close to my house. I guess I was destined to go and play cricket.
And was it specifically Sachin? You actually vividly remember watching Sachin. And what was it about watching Sachin, seeing him bat, that made you say, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to be a batsman. I want to play cricket. Sharp turn from Puri, well bowled.
Just the way he played, I mean, the aggressive intent he had early on, those classical drives, straight drives, and just the way he played, I mean, just loved the way he played. Got inspired truly by him only.
I think that shows, that little story of your introduction to the sport. It shows the importance of exposure and shows the importance of heroes and players to look up to. I think one of the things that's been so good in the last, not just year or two, but maybe 4 or 5 years of the associate game, we see the ICC live streaming every single one of the 540 pathway event matches, ACC live streaming every one of their men's and women's tournaments as well. And it's giving that exposure, that platform for heroes to be built up, not just in India or in England or South Africa or Pakistan, but also in the associate nations. I'm sure there's young Nepali cricketers watching Rohit Paudel now and saying, that's who I want to be, that's why I want to play cricket. End of the 12th, it's 40 for 2.
Oh, Lifebuoy hand wash le marcha 99.9% viruses. त्यसैले palm, rub, chew. संसारकै number 1 selling germ protection soap brand.
Beam, we only have 1 day left. Focus, man.
No, coach. We have 1 month. You have 1 month. I have 1 month. I have sent my referral. No, please check it once.
Whirling refer गर्नुस् दुवैजनालाई एक महिना free internet र net TV subscription पाउनुस्. Whirling refer offer.
All right, guys, don't worry. We have 1 month. Let's do this.
Good little phase this for Singapore. They've dragged things back wonderfully well over the last 7 overs. Edge and put down. The captain reacted a little late. I think it's come to him slower than he thought it was. And this is a more regulation chance than it should have been. Should have been the third wicket. Sohail's tortured stay should have ended on 2, but he has a life.
Yeah, you could see some turn there. Bhaskaran getting it to straighten. It just put his bat out, Sohail. Diving Datta, but couldn't hold on.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get one more look at that replay. But Datta, I think he's misjudged this. It looks like a difficult catch. It looks like a diving, one-handed, tough chance. Because he thought it was coming quicker to him than it actually was. Lovely drift, lovely loop from Bhaskaran. Because he was slightly off balance at the point of contact, as a slip fielder you need to be in a anticipatory position. You need to have your arms extended and be ready. And look at the point of contact here. Where are Dutta's hands? Let's see if we go back. They're on his knees, and that's the problem. Ian Botham caught like that, he was a freak. A complete freak. Don't know how he did it. Flintoff did it as well. But if you're at first slip, your hands have to be extended. If not, as they weren't there, he ends up misjudging it and putting down what I think is actually an easier chance than it looked like.
Yeah, definitely a missed chance. So he'll need to take advantage of that. Well bowled again by Bhaskaran. He's keeping it tight here. This is giving away 12 runs till now, and still a ball to go. Picked up that 2 important wickets.
And strangely, that slip is coming out for Shabazz. I'm not sure I agree with that. Singapore are getting themselves on top. Keep attacking, keep looking for wickets. End of the 13th over. It should have been a wicket-taking one, but the chance went down. It's 41 for 2.
Congestion ahead. You are on the fastest route. Rerouting.
The all-new Pulsar N160 with dual channel ABS.
You've reached your destination.
Okay, boys. In this pitch, what we need is speed. We need to be fast.
Right, coach.
Who is the fastest?
Whirling.
Okay, Whirling.
सबैलाई थाहा छ इन्टरनेटको स्पिड र सर्भिस दुवैमा फास्टेस्ट वर्ल्डिङ नै हो.
This is the fastest.
Pressure's on, boys, pressure's on.
Yeah, no real crowd in to the ground yet, but we're expecting a big one tomorrow. The home side back into action. Friday, I suspect there's going to be a few half days taken as the weekend approaches. It's really just Saturday that workers get off here in Kathmandu, 6-day working week. So maybe a few little sick notes and a few half days will be taken. As this one swept away, and swept away really nicely. Challenge into the Dafa News advertising hoardings. Going to be 4. Pori just getting a bit too straight, and he doesn't have the field for that because square leg is up in the circle.
Yeah, so he'll finally getting that boundary he was looking for. Right in between the fine leg and square leg fielder. A good option with the ball coming in. Playing with the turn, Sohail.